the end of the day, the two most valuable resources for everything you want in your life, it's not complicated. Emotional states, energy, that's it. Think about it. If you don't feel good, how are you gonna enjoy this thing we call life? If you don't feel good, people don't wanna be around you. And not to mention also, if you don't feel good, how are you gonna stop yourself from saying things you know you shouldn't be saying? It's almost a cliche. Oh, I should have said this, I should have said that, but that's because you're not addressing the core. That's where all the concepts you're getting from the books, videos, maybe even your counselor, you got some great concepts, but no ability to execute. When you can control your emotions, that is the foundation for that. Again, just making everything very simple here. So the reason why you've probably looked back at your life and said, wow, things are not going the way I want, that's because you've never addressed the core before. But when you feel fantastic, that gives you all the odds in your favor to actually execute in the way that's going to behoove you and your relationship. But at the end of the day, when you feel great, you're just good. And that's what everyone wants. So let's keep things simple here. But any process you're going to do to resurrect yourself, your relationships, and your life has to start with that foundation. It does not matter what you know. All your concepts go out the window as soon as you feel fear, sadness, anger. As soon as you feel that stuff, what good are your concepts? They're worth nothing. So it does not matter what you know, it matters what you can do. And if you can't control your emotions, you effectively know zero. Any process you're going to do to, work on your relationships and your life needs to address at the core. Number two, energy. Energy is the fuel for everything you're looking for. How are you going to make your dreams come true? How are you going to make your relationship to the next level if you don't have any gas in the gas tank? Does that make sense? But that's not a concept. That's a skill. That's a conditioning. And by the way, on that note, a lot of people talk about mindsets and beliefs. That's not really what they're looking for. If you think about it, how are you going to have a mindset when you feel like shit? How's that going to work out? Your ability to execute is a conditioning. It's the way you feel. The conditioning is actually what allows you to execute a mindset or execute a belief. Beliefs and mindsets alone, without the conditioning, without that energy, without that fuel, they're worthless. So at the end of the day, what everyone really wants is a conditioning. And again, that's a skill, that's a process, that's not a concept. And that's why the people that work with me, my clients that do the Refocus on Happiness program, they're good either way. Hey, some people get back together with exes, some don't, and most of them don't even want that person back. But when you feel great, it's a whole different level, not just for your relationships, but for your entire life. So let's kind of close up here. Two most valuable resources, energy and emotional states. When you feel great, you speak great. When you feel great, you just execute at a completely different level. That's what makes all your techniques actually executable. And if any of you are dealing with stuff where you're trying to get, a job back, a business back, relationship back, you first have to get you back. And again, to get you back, that's conditioning. When you get you back first, and you're now at this level, people want to line up with you. Think about it. A lot of you are dealing with breakups, and you're kind of in a rut, you're in a fog. No one wants to be around you. And the decision to be in a relationship is an emotional decision. It's not logical. You can't take a PowerPoint presentation and say, oh, you're going to want to be around me because of A, B, and C. It doesn't work like that. People either want to be around you or they don't, based on how they feel when they're around you. So if you have a relationship that's not going so well, you can have all the concepts in the world, but if you're not enjoyable to be around, good luck with that. That's not going to work out very well. You can have all the best qualities in the world, but if someone doesn't enjoy their experience with you, that's not going to work out too well. But to get yourself back there, you can't concept your way there. That's a conditioning. That's your ability to control the way you feel, okay? So again, I'll kind of close on this note here. Steve Martin has a great phrase. He says, be so good at what you do, people cannot ignore you. I'm going to show you I'm going to make it so obvious what is available to you when you actually finally address the core. And by the way, on that note, again, this is a biological process. It allows you to rewire, recondition your brain like you recondition a muscle. I got doctors to do my program. Why do you think that is? A lot of you might have heard the idea of neuroplasticity, brain cells that fire together or wire together, but this is a true practical experience allowing you to recondition, rewire your brain like you'd recondition muscle. Same thing. And again, it allows you to keep moving at higher levels. But anyway, so bottom line is, that is what addresses the core. That's what allows you to take your relationships and your life to levels you ultimately want to go. Anyway, enjoy. I'm going to make this so obvious for you in the end part of this video here, where you see a bunch of people that are just like you, same situations. At the end of the day, no offense to you guys, but your situation is not as unique as you think it is. You have a brain that is capable of incredible things if you give it the right process, the right condition, the right stimulus. You have no idea what you're capable of. And again, at the end of the day, everything you've done is because you want to feel a certain way. But to feel a certain way consistently, that's a conditioning process, and that's why you're going to want to address the core. So enjoy the video. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Go to refocusonhappiness.com. What you want to do is you want to click the button at the top, contact Lance. Very, very easy form. When you go there, you'll put your name, your last name, your email address, and your phone number. And I will get in touch with you in just a few days, okay?
Just be a little patient. I got a lot of people I work with, but I'll get in touch with you in 72 hours maximum. But after you do that contact Lance link, feel free to scroll around here. Again, Steve Martin has a great phrase. He says, "Be so good at what you do, people cannot ignore you." If you scroll down, you'll see testimonials from psychologists, doctors, zillions and zillions and zillions of past clients, including medical directors, et cetera, et cetera. So, like I said, I'm making this so obvious for you, what I represent for you, what I believe. The only reason you would not do this is if you're a glutton for punishment. So yeah, feel free to take a good look around. Again, I'm gonna make it very clear what I represent for you if this is something you're serious about, okay? Awesome. Look forward to speaking to you soon.
It's about trust in yourself. And here's the way to bring it down to the most basic level. Once you know what you want, just repeat this phrase to yourself every day. You ready for it? I don't care what you say, I care what you do. That's awesome. That's very exciting. As soon as you say it, I'm going to believe you. As soon as you show me something different, I'm going to believe you the very first time. That's it. You make it simple. Not so complicated.
I was sick and tired of hurting, and I needed to change. I had to physically, mentally, and emotionally change quickly, or it wasn't going to be pretty. And so you and I talked, and we started that night, and it's been nothing but an uphill, amazing journey to the top of the mountain to look around and say, I feel pretty damn good.
Like, oh, I'm just gonna, roll these dice and hope I make the right decision. Like, I actually feel like I could make decisions and know what I'm doing. And that's like a really big deal for me. So, because I never felt like that before. So, yeah, overall, just being actually able to realize I do have power and I'm not this helpless person. And being able to help with having felt like I was, like you said, like the punching bag, feeling like that, being able to be told by have you help me, like, talk myself through it, and with the tools that you use in your program to actually, like, literally rewiring my brain, like what you were always talking about, like, just that it actually works. And so, yeah, like I feel like, I mean, right now I have no desire to go into another relationship right now at all, but I feel that that if I did, I would feel like it would be, not to say that it would be easy, because, there's things you never know what would happen, but I feel like I know what I'm doing now. Like, it's not gonna.
That's a big deal. So how do you feel now about your future, knowing that, hey, you can't control the people? I was never here to help you control or manipulate or any of that kind of stuff. But how does it feel to know that in the future, no matter who comes your way and whatever happens in this future relationship, to know that you have a specific way to control the way you feel and communicate, so that if they're in, they're in. If they're not, they're not. That's okay. But no one's going to waste your time. How does it feel to know that for the rest of your life, that's yours?
Well, it feels really good, actually, because because even though there is no, like, certainty of life, like what's going to happen, but I have certainty with myself, like how you said, like, controlling how you feel. Like, I actually know if I am in a challenging situation, like maybe if it is something that's really, really hard, like I'll still have emotions, I'll still have, things I'm going through, like ups and downs with it, but they're not out of control ups and downs. Where before, like, if I got down or like really to the point where you could call it depressed, I had no idea when it would end, or like when I would be able to get out of it, or if I would be able to. Where now I know I don't even have to go to that at all. Like, it's actually like, now I can just experience the emotion or the thing that happens, but I'm not at its mercy, if that makes sense. Like, I actually can, like, be like, wow, this is really hitting me, but it doesn't, but then like I just said, like, I'm actually experiencing it instead of just like, yeah, there's not this hopeless feeling about it. Or it's like more like now I'm observing it instead of being completely in it and flailing around and just being like, oh my gosh, I hope either I figure this out or I hope someone will help me, or like, it's not like that. It's like I actually can. If I show up and do actually do the practice and everything, like I can actually end it or just get to the next day, or however long it takes, it doesn't matter. Like I can actually handle it, where I didn't feel like I could I guess I shouldn't say, like, before I didn't feel like I could handle things. I had no idea that I wasn't handling them. Like I thought I was handling things, and it turns out like I was just not at all. So that's a really big deal. So then for me, yeah, with whatever does happen with this relationship, or if it ends up being different ones, I don't have to worry. Like I guess I'm not, how would I say it? Like if there are like bumps or things that happen, I know at least on my end, I don't know what they're gonna do, but at least on my end, I know that I can actually like work through it and handle it.
Mhm.
And then even if it's really difficult, I know that the difficulty will actually come to an end, instead of just being like, oh my gosh, when will this end? Like I can actually handle it. So, and then if I need to walk away from a situation, I guess I'll have to do that if it like gets to that point. But now with what I've learned from you too, like I can actually see where those boundaries are, where before I had no really, like, I guess I didn't really have, I thought I knew where lines and boundaries were, but I guess I didn't. Like I only knew like the specific ones, like, oh, if someone cheats on you, or if you get like beat up or something like really obvious.
Right.
Like, or like things like that. Like I couldn't define where the more blurry or gray stuff was. Like but even though I would feel really bad, I still couldn't figure out, oh, well, that's because this is a line that was like crossed and I shouldn't accept that. So, yeah, I do have a lot more boundaries and lines up now where I didn't before, for sure. So.
Do you feel like I mean, this is how I like to describe it, and it's how I feel I've experienced it. Do you feel like almost like after 30 something years, you're almost like waking out of the fog? You're realizing you really weren't living it at a certain your level.
Yeah.
You almost feel like you're waking, like almost like really living, almost like you're asleep for many years.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm really glad. Of course, originally there were feelings of, oh, I wish I had did this 10 years ago, but I wasn't ready, I guess. Like it wasn't time. Like it was meant to be now for whatever reason. So I definitely went through a lot before, but it has a different meaning now. Like I don't think of it as like these bad, horrible things. Oh, why did that have to happen? Now I see that they actually like built me up to a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, yeah, it is like waking up out of a fog, but I can at least be like thankful that I woke up, and it does feel different. And I'm still like dealing with stuff too, but it's different. Like there's something is changed about it, where it's not like, yeah, I don't really know how to
Same
even
power, it doesn't have the
explain.
same power that it used to.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
like a jail or like you have freedom now.
Yeah, I do have freedom. And I also, like going to your point before where you were saying like, oh, to just relax and everything, like I do feel like I am more relaxed. Like I mean, years and years ago, I don't really think I even had anxiety, but the last like 2 years with what was going on like in my relationship and just some other things, it's like that started to actually happen and like build up. And then I had no idea how to handle that because I never dealt with that before. And then now, and then I was like seeing a therapist and everything when I first started working with you, and like it wasn't working. Like I didn't feel like I thought it was working because I was hoping it, like white knuckling it, like this has to work because I don't know what else to do. And then once I was doing the stuff with you, I realized, oh my gosh, it wasn't working, even though I thought it was because I was doing action, but by going there and actually talking, but like I wasn't having the results that actually physicalized in my life the way it has doing what you do. Because I even throughout the 6 weeks, like there were things that actually happened that would have sent me into like a really difficult position that I would be like, things where it would be like I wouldn't have known when I would come out of it. Like it would have just been really almost scary, like just hoping that I would feel better, and just trying to do things like reading books or watching speakers, and just hoping that that would like help me get out of it, and just trying to do what they say, but then realizing I didn't know how to do what they said. But then what you like gave me like actual ways to do things.